Hey there, YouTube. So I haven't made a video in a while, but I thought this would be just a fun little project. I bought this chair a while back and I really like it, but the handles are made to adjust. They adjust this way, they adjust forward and backward, and they adjust up and down. Well, I don't like this side to side movement. You know, you go to get out of the chair, you put your hand down, and the chair slips. And there's no option in the chair to lock it, so I decided just to go ahead, run a couple screws in, and that way the chair would no longer move in and out or back and forth. But thankfully I'm a bigger guy, so I always just want the handle the whole way out. I don't think it'll prevent the chair, once it's screwed, from going up and down. This part seems to move freely. So I'm just going to go ahead, add a couple screws now that it's in place, and we'll see how it works. So I'm basically going to run 2 screws, one in the front, one in the back, and I'm going to pre-drill the hole first so it doesn't split when I go to run the wood screws. Okay, so that's the first hole through. Hopefully it's going to dig into some material here. So I'm just looking. I just had my Phillips drill bit, and there it is. And these are basically just common wood screws. But like I said, I drilled them with a drill bit first, just to make sure that they don't break the plastic, and so that I have a path to follow when I run my wood screw in. And see this? Yeah, see, I didn't run my pre-hole the whole way in. So I think I'm going to go ahead to take this screw out before I have to worry about it stripping. Take the drill bit and run it deeper. And just to give you some idea, basically the screw and the drill bit are the exact same depth. So if I run it the whole way through and it doesn't pop out the side, then I'll know. Yeah, and as you can see, I basically have the drill bit right at the end. So if I go to the drill basically bottoms out, then I should have the pre-hole right where I want it. The drill I'm working with has a built-in flashlight, which is always a nice feature. Probably makes the video a little easier to see. Okay, and now we're the whole way through. Just looking, it didn't pop out the side. So now I'm going to go ahead. And I don't want to reuse that screw because, like I said, it was close to stripping out. Also, the Phillips bit I have, it would probably be a little better were the screws a little bit wider. But I want to make sure I have the widest bit in, because if the bit you're using is narrower than the screw, what's going to happen is you're going to want to strip out the center of the screw because you're not making contact on the full screw. I could probably turn the speed down a little bit on the drill and make it a little less. So let's go ahead and switch it to 5 and put the screw in a little bit slower with a little more torque. Oh, I think I actually just sped it up. So let's put it back to where it was. But yeah, I definitely don't have the exact right drill bit for this. And you can see how hard the screws actually wanting to go in. These screws aren't the best either. It seems like there's almost paint in the head from the factory. And so the screw can't get the whole way in, but okay, so right there we got it. And now let's see. And no, there's no movement at all right now. So, mission accomplished. I was going to go ahead and run another screw in the back. Although, honestly, right now, as you can see, there's no movement. So, I might actually just call it a day. Not really sure what the advantage to drilling another screw in the back would be. And it would just be another visible thing that, as you can see, the black screw, it doesn't really stand out. And even if it did, it's not really obvious that that's not just how the chair's created. I'm just debating now whether or not to run another screw in the back. Let me try to sit on it here. Yeah, no. I mean, even with, there's still a little play, but it doesn't slide forward and backward. It doesn't slide side to side. And it still goes up and down, which is nice because the up and down locks. But see, compared to this is a lot sturdier. You go to lift yourself up out of the chair, and instead of your hand wanting to slide, it's nice and sturdy. So I think I'm going to call it a day. I'll go ahead and run the screw in the other side here. I don't know whether or not I'll include the footage of me doing this because it's essentially just the same thing I already did. But maybe I'll get a better angle on this side of the chair. And again, you want to make sure that it's where you want it, this way. So yeah, thankfully these actually click, so you can tell whether it's open here or here. You know, in this case, we want it here. We want to make sure that the handle's pulled the whole way forward. You know, obviously, if you're smaller and want the handle closer in, that's an option, but it's not the option I'm using. So as you can see, I got my drill at about a 45-degree angle. I got the drill bit in, and I'm just going to real slowly start my hole here. And once you get going, you can just kind of right there. And then we'll go ahead. Like I said, we want to make sure we're using the fattest bit, but honestly on this bit, I don't know if it matters. It almost looks like the bit itself may be chipped. And now we take our screw right there at a 45-degree angle, and nice and slow, run it in. And you really want to push hard when you run it in. Try to push on this one too, and just see if I can get it a little bit tighter so it looks more like it was part of the original design of the chair. Yep. And that looks nice. Honestly, you wouldn't really be able to tell, especially if you pull the plastic from around the edges. You wouldn't be able to tell that this isn't how the chair was originally designed. And the other nice thing about this mod is, you know, right now it's customized for you. But if you were to, let's say, go to sell the chair, just making sure I have it nice and straight, and I'll sit in it here. yeah, if you were ever to go to sell the chair, or let's say that you decided you actually like the functionality of the arms moving, you could basically just remove the screw, and you haven't really made any permanent modifications to the chair. You've just added a hole. So that'll conclude this tutorial video. I was just thinking that I made it almost to the end without screwing up, but I'm going to try to upload this in one take. Like I said, I just haven't added anything to the channel for a couple of years. So I'm going to add this, and if you like this kind of content, go ahead and let me know. Thanks a lot. Bye.